Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Nubian Queen Talk Show. I am your host, Queen Yolanda Mitchell. And y'all, I have an exciting guest on tonight that I want to introduce you all to. This woman here has a sweetheart. She's a criminal defense and family attorney, the only private board certified attorney in the third judicial court system. And y'all, I want to bring her up to let you all know this beautiful soul on tonight. Her name is Sheena Rickerson, going up for a judge. And y'all, this is so exciting for me to be able to bring her before you all. And while I'm bringing her up, y'all know how I like to do it on Nubian Queen Talk Show. I want y'all to comment, tell me where you're from, ask questions, and just talk with us on tonight because we need your feedback. This is going to be a great show, and it would not be great without you all and your comments. And while you're at it, go ahead and share this on your Facebook page, share with your family and friends. And those of you that are in Hamilton County, I need you all to share this video on tonight because this is one of ours. This is our county, representing our county on tonight. Okay, without further ado, I'm going to bring the beautiful Sheena Rickerson up. Amen. Hey,
Hi.
how are you?
Well, thanks for having me. How are you, Miss Yolanda?
I am well. Thank you for coming on the show on tonight. It's such a blessing. It's a pleasure and an honor to have you on tonight.
I am honored to be here, and I'm honored that you asked me to be here. I'm very excited.
Yes, ma'am. And I'm excited too. So, will you go ahead and introduce yourself? Let us know who you are. Kind of give us a little rundown on who we have before us on tonight.
Of course. So I'm Sheena Rickerson. I'm a local criminal defense attorney here in downtown Jasper. As you have mentioned to some of the audience, I am the only board certified criminal trial attorney in 7 counties. And I say that because it's something that I'm very proud of. We do have other board certified attorneys that are at the state attorney's office and the public defender's office, but I'm the only one in private practice. I've been in Jasper, downtown Jasper. I've had a private practice since March of 2020. And up until my husband passed away, our late chief of police in Jasper, I was also doing family law. Now, I will be back bringing an associate in June to begin doing some family law again to kind of transition in the event that I do win our local Hamilton County judge election. But right now, I'm focusing solely on criminal defense. And board certified actually means expert, so it's something that I'm very proud of. I've been in Jasper about 10 years. I used to be your misdemeanor and your felony prosecutor here. I was married again to your late chief of police. We were married for 7 years before he passed, and we have 3 young children. I began my career in the Third Judicial Circuit. I used to prosecute out of the Live Oak State Attorney's Office, and I've pretty much just worked my way since then. And now I own Rickerson Legal. So that's my gig. And as everyone probably knows, I'm running for county judge. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's a lot. I think about it some days and it's a lot, but I'm out here doing it.
Oh yeah, that is like, 'cause I was about to say, what are you not doing?
Oh, I do a lot more than that in the community. Always hate to brag on myself, but I do. And I don't think I know how not to. I look back at my life and I think that it is just who I am. It is in my fabric. I don't know how to not do.
Oh my goodness. Okay, tell us what made you get into criminal defense? What made you get into law? Like, what made you take this up?
So I actually had a role model. I was first year at Florida State, so go Noles. I'm a Noles fan. A friend of mine who wanted to do an internship, and she went to high school with me in Jacksonville. I'm a white commander, born and raised west side of Jacksonville. And she came to me and wanted me to come and also help out this attorney where she was doing an internship with. And it ended up that I loved it. I was a runner. She finished up her internship, finished the summer, and I never went back. I transferred to UNF. I stayed at the law firm. I worked my way up to a legal assistant, to a paralegal, and I was a paralegal for about 10 years, working for basically a sole practitioner like I am, doing family law and criminal defense. She actually had a very same career track, so that's why I really model her kind of as my idol. She was a private prosecutor, sex crimes, and she did family law. So her track is kind of what my track led to once I left the state attorney's office. And it was just at that moment, like working with her, being in the office with her. Like I knew I didn't want to be behind the desk forever. I knew that I wanted to step into the courtroom. And so I took her track. I did an internship with the state attorney's office in Plenty my last year, and ended up getting hired in Live Oak. And then that's how I headed this direction. I met my husband my first year as a prosecutor here, actually, in depositions. So we kind of have a very, very sweet love story.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So we know that there's so many different things that you are doing here. Can you give us some of the things that you struggle with on your way going into law school and things like that? Were there any challenges that you experienced?
I think I really have an underdog story.
Just talk about that.
I just, I have not been free of, struggle or hardship, and I didn't come up an easy way. And I don't say it for, a sympathy or anything like that. But I think that's why I appeal to so many youth, and I'm so passionate about youth because I've been an underdog story. I didn't come up with, money. I worked for everything that I had. I started working when I was very young. Put myself through, Florida Bright Futures, through, high school to college, scholarships. I paid for my way through, all of college. I worked on the side. I went to school at night when I went to UNF and worked at the law firm during the day. I did a political science degree. I made the jump to law school. I couldn't work my first year, but I still worked the other 2 years. Actually, the other year. I finished law school early. I finished law school in 2 years. And I always did it all myself. My own loans, paid my own bills. I've never not worked. I don't know how to not work. And so I'm the first out of 4 generations, both sides of my family, to graduate, much less go to law school. I had some struggles my senior year. My dad got into some trouble. He, went to jail. He was actually on a form of house arrest when he escorted me to FSU my first year. It's not the most glorious of stories, but it made me who I am. And, strangely enough, this is when I tell people this, it blows their mind. I clerked for the judge that sent my dad to jail. I clerked for him in law school. I clerked for I sure did. Judge Waddell A. Wallace, and I clerked for Judge Frederick B. Tiger. Both of those were in law school. And so, as I said, as a defense attorney, and as a prosecutor, I think the thing that I value the most is I have life experience from both sides of the table. I have had all walks of life and background experience. And I think, honestly, when I look back, it's probably what made me a good prosecutor, because I didn't come out of law school just fresh and green. I was able to make decisions. And the same way in private practice, the reason why I'm a good defense attorney is because I was a good prosecutor. I know the opposite side of the table. So my story is very unique. Not a lot of people really know it. But as this campaign has went on, and I've started this track race about two years ago, there are some that do. But I have no embarrassment about it. It's made me who I am. It's made me work twice as hard. And it makes me more than ever want to accomplish, becoming a county judge.
Wow. This is intriguing. So, because we sit back a lot of times and we think that, it had to been easy and, everything you just skate through, because that's a lot for you to have to experience that going to school. You said you were the underdog, because let me tell you, I can relate. I also been the underdog, and people don't understand when you said that you're an underdog, that means you may have been overlooked, counted out. People probably didn't think you was going to make it, things like that. But you said I had to work for everything I had. I had to work with school. I paid my way through. I didn't have a silver spoon, and it's just wow, what a story.
And it's what I pride myself on, because even as a prosecutor, I was all about work. I jammed out in, the 6 years I was there. I had done when I left there 43 jury trials. That's more than, I guess if you do the average per year, and I got board certified. I think the statistics are there's 406 board certified criminal trial attorneys. So that's what, 5% that are out of the attorneys in the whole state of Florida, because you got thousands of attorneys in the state of Florida. There's like very, very, very minimal percentage of people that are board certified. And so that meant a lot to me, just to reach that achievement. So, I just think that I'm always, struggling for more, wanting for
Mm.
more, wanting to do more. And that's something that I instill in my children too. I'm always going to want to push them harder, to want more, to do more, to work harder. And I think it has a lot to do with why I am so passionate, like I said, about our youth here, because
Right,
I can relate to a lot of their stories. And even though it may not seem like it, I've been in their shoes.
right. And that's what's important now, is being able to tell, to be able to understand people. So when they come to you and you can relate to them and say, yes, I've been there. I totally understand. Yeah. Okay. Can you tell us one of your most challenging cases that you had?
I would say probably the most challenging case that I've had since I have been an attorney has actually been in private practice. So I've done 3 or 4 jury trials since I've been a private defense attorney, and that's not unusual. You don't have as many as you do when you're a prosecutor. But it was a case that I felt very passionately about the defense of my client and the circumstances that happened and the outcome. And we went all the way full blown through a trial. And unfortunately, he was not successful in front of the jury. It was a stand your ground defense. And I just remember driving home and crying like a baby because my heart was just so, and I had worked on it for about 2 years of being in private practice. I mean, we had went through stand your ground arguments. We had been through depositions. We had been through, I mean, there's so much. And I really, really, really was just felt so passionate. And it was an area that I specialize in as a prosecutor too. So it was already something that was just heavy on my heart and something that was just a complex area of the law that I really enjoyed. And so I put a lot into that trial, and I had a lot of faith that the jury would do the right thing. And it didn't end up that way. And it's just still something that very much weighs on me. My guy ended up getting about 30 years in prison for a stabbing.
Oh, oh wow.
And
Okay.
it was something that it's rough. And I think that it really takes, let me just say this, to be a good judge, I think you need to be a prosecutor, and I think you also need to be a defense attorney, because
Right.
you need to be able to see both sides of the fence, and you need to be
Mm-hmm.
able to empathize with people. I'll just
Wow.
say that.
Amazing. So you're saying seeing both sides of the story, being
Absolutely.
know how to, be both, both sides, one that will put you in and one that try to keep you out. So
That's right. And it is a lot of what I look back as a prosecutor, and maybe because I did defense work as a paralegal, I did do some internships with the PD's office when I was in law school, along with the state attorney's office. But I think that, that life experience and that desire to know that there is another side and just not be closed-minded is a lot of what probably made me a good prosecutor. I have a lot of people tell me, oh, Sheena, you were firm, but you were fair. You did always listen to both sides. You might have been a little bit harsh, but you had reasons behind it. And I think that when you come out as a young baby, brand new misdemeanor prosecutor, that can be very important, to make sure that you're making good decisions that affect people's lives.
mm,
Sometimes, the prosecutor can be stronger than the judge, to be honest, and that's for a
right.
whole other conversation. But, you've got to have walked a mile in those shoes. You've got to have tried a lot of cases. You've got to have life experience to be able to know what someone on that opposite side of that bench or that bar is experiencing.
Right. And that's one of the things. It's good to know that, you're going up to be judged in our county, and you're saying that, children, are passionate. And we need that. It's a lot of things that we need, especially in this county, to know, what are things that we can do for our youth, for our children, um, that can help them, and to know that, hey, you came from humble beginnings. And with that being said, what are some of the things that you will help in the community as it relates to our youth, especially as when they're going up to court and things like that? What are some of the things that we can expect from you?
Well, we all know that in our county right now, we are experiencing a lot of struggles with our youth. And I don't think that it
Yeah.
solely just comes from our county. I think it's across, generations, period. But I think
Mhm.
that I have always led by example. And I think that that's
Right.
something important for everyone to look at too. I'm not going to on things that I don't believe in. They're going to be things that
Right.
I have, pushed for, fought for, led for, and got
That's
out
right.
there and emphasized. And so
Mm.
we talk about things like, drug courts, veteran courts, opportunities to have the children here be involved in more things, create more opportunities. I have literally for the last, God, I think since I was a prosecutor, now into private practice, have tried to create more things for our youth around here.
Mm,
Have them get involved in things, or mentor a child. I've mentored
mm.
a high school student, Darian. Darian was one of my favorite interns, and he's going off to FSU too. He still works for me, but I'm very passionate about making sure that our youth are not forgotten about. Whether
Right,
it be through truancy courts or our schools or engaging our community to do more with them and not just look the other way.
right,
That's a lot of what we lack because it really does take a village. One thing that I have learned a very hard way when my husband passed is it absolutely takes a village. And sitting on that bench, I think that giving opportunities to our youth who are led astray and making smart decisions about what could best help them is going to be wonderful. To be
mm,
able to know my youth that are affected and their communities and things like that, to know this is a child that deserves a chance. This is a
right.
child that, we could get some community support. They may get back rolled in school. They may not be on the streets committing crimes.
Ah,
But it takes all of us to,
right.
and so I practice what I preach. And,
That's
so
right.
that's something that's big to me too. It's one thing to sit there and say that, but it's another thing to get out in your community and try to help.
Mm. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to hold back my tears. Because I'm listening to you, and I know you've shared several times about your husband, and before you even got to where you are, just recently, you experienced, loss, and oh my goodness, I know that. I hear people say a lot before something major and big and good happened for you, you experienced something, rough, traumatizing, and you lost your husband, and everybody knew your husband. So can you kind of introduce us, tell us a little bit about your husband and about your experience before you got to what you're doing now?
Absolutely. And, one thing I will say, that I love the most hearing about since he's passed is how many lives he affected. And I
Mm,
really wish that we celebrated people's lives while they were still here. I was married to the man for 7 years. He was at the police department for 13. He ended up being the interim chief for about a year and a half, 2 years, and then officially the chief before he passed. And it blows my mind the stories that I have heard, not only through my campaigning, but since he passed away, about how he affected people. And of course, I knew him to be that good man, which is why I chose him, which is why I
mm,
chose to have children with him and fell in love with him. But just to hear how generous and kind hearted and, loving and just thoughtful and considerate and just empathetic, and how much he generally loved the people in this community. Like I knew it, but I never knew it to the extent of what
right,
it was until, he passed away. And something that I really took pride in is just knowing that every single time I have ever had an interaction in the court system where somebody has ever brought my husband's name up, I don't ever hear, or he was a jerk cop, or he treated people badly, or he did things wrong, or he was inappropriate, or no. You know what I hear? He helped people.
right.
Tony would give you a chance. Tony was a good guy. Tony, would try to do his best to help people when they have trouble with their kids, or he would. And to me, we lived that life at home, but to know that that was the impact that people truly had is means a lot to me. I carry that with me, and I'm very proud for him, and I'm very proud for my children to know that that's the legacy that he's left here. And because I mean, we literally we're community servants. I was serving the same way he was serving, even when I was a prosecutor. And I don't think I truly realized, my impact or my family's impact until I started this county judge race. And I know that's a crazy thing to say, but you just live your life and you be a good human and you do the right thing and you do what your heart calls you to do and what God calls you to do. And it's not until people go to bat for you that you truly recognize, how much effect you have had on your community, and
Wow.
that's very humbling. And that's an amazing feeling and an amazing experience to know that, the people that you're caring about are caring about you too.
Mm. What inspired you to keep going? Because through I mean, because some people would have stopped, but you kept pushing forward. Like some people would, I'm telling you, they would have just said, I'm taking a whole year sabbatical. What was your fire? What really pushed you to still continue to pursue the things you were pursuing and going up for judge?
My husband wanted this probably just about as bad as I did. Him and I have always been an advocate for fairness and change and progress in this county. Everybody being treated equally, everybody being treated with respect and decency, and just being good humans. And he always, would be my cheerleader. You can do this. When I get stressed, when I'd be worried about it, if I would second guess myself, and it wasn't even just this race, trials that I had or things that I went through in private practice. He was always the one that was, pushing me to do better and to be better. And there were times that, moments glanced through my mind after he passed that I knew that it would just be easier to step out of the limelight and just be in my private practice with my children and not have, my every move criticized, candidly, when you're running in a political position, that I could just say, live my life, easy schedule, private practice, whatever. But I knew that he would be disappointed in me. I knew I'd be disappointed in myself. And I knew that at the end of the day, once my heart would heal, that I'd look back and I would regret it, because it was something that we genuinely wanted together. He wanted to see me up there on that bench as much as I want to be up there on that bench, because he loves the people here, just like I do. And I think that if I would have just, sat down and given up, number one, it would have wrecked me, but it's also not a good example to set for my children. I don't want my children to ever think that anything they encounter, that they can just give up that easy. I want them to see the fight in me, and I want them to see the fight in their father. And I want to set a good example for them. So that was not something that I wanted to leave as my legacy. I wanted to at least try.
Right. Oh, goodness. I'm just okay. Okay, so we know that you had so much that you went through in life, um and moving forward, even in I'm trying to cry. I'm trying to brace
Oh,
myself.
you're fine.
I'm telling you,
I'm
it's just,
sorry. I didn't
I'm
mean
yeah,
to.
because I mean that had it had to been something to just try to regroup and and things like that. I know your family came together, like you said, and what helped you was to know
Well,
that.
and my children kept me aligned. Don't get me
Mhm.
wrong. I lived for them. It's all I had left. I told myself I don't think anything worse could have probably happened to me in my life, other than if the God would have took one of my children with my husband.
Right,
But at the same time, it was a blessing in disguise to have me already running this campaign, because it kept my mind busy.
right,
It kept me motivated. It kept me wanting to have something not only to live for myself, but also my children. My family is affected, as my children are affected as much as I am going through this process. And I think when I look back now, getting close to the finish line in August 20th is the election day. I don't regret a bit of it, because so much
mhm,
good, has come of it, that has helped me, just as a person or as a mentor. I have so many women, so many that reach out to me on a day-to-day basis, that their daughters look up to me, or they tell me how, proud they are of me for continuing, or, just people in general in the community who are just so supportive of my journey. And when I hear those type of things, I'm glad I didn't just lay down. I'm glad I didn't just give up. I'm glad I'm still fighting a good fight.
okay, so we know that you have some things coming up. So when are your where are some of your appearances going to be so that we can try to make some of those appearances?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. So as far as the going forward in the campaign trail, I'm currently right now starting to make home to home and business visits, is on the agenda now. I will be at the rodeo. We have the Jasper Rodeo this weekend. I'll be there on Friday and Saturday. But as far as my campaign is concerned, actual events that we're hosting, we will have a meet and greet coming up in Jennings that we're currently planning right now. And
Uh-huh.
then in July, we'll also have one at T&T Barbecue, out off of at Crossroads off of Highway 6 and 141. Those will be the last two big campaign events that I currently have. I had a meet and greet in White Springs that we've already done. We did that a little while back, but we're kind of at the end of the trail. It's,
Right.
getting close to absentee time. So absentee ballots go out in the mail sometime in July. So we're focusing on, flyer and getting that ready. And then I also today finalized my campaign video. So we hope to be publishing that online. Yeah, I'm excited. We should be publishing on that online hopefully within the next week, to get out, my campaign message to more voters. Because as much as I love to make it to every single home, I also have a practice and a family. And I've always said in this campaign, I'm always going to put my children first. That is one thing that I've always promised myself, is that, even with all of this stress and pressure and everything that I have going on, they've been through too much, and, they're always going to be my priority.
My goodness. Yeah, you have your plate full. So we know that we're looking forward to meet you in person in Jennings, at the Crossroads. And so we have and the rodeo this weekend. Have you had, let me ask you this, have you had people to come up to you and want to take pictures with you, asking for your autograph? Have you had
Not yet. I do have people that, I did have the little girl the other day, actually, it was like at a wedding. She said, Sheena, I want to take a picture with you. You're famous. And I said, no, girl, I am not. I said, but thank you, though. That's very sweet. But listen, I say this to people all the time, too. My office is right here next to the old Mama's Burgers and my Daddy's and Sons. I'm right here, behind Hardee's. My campaign manager is Reagan. If, my vehicle is here or we're here and people want to, please stop in, I'm happy to call me. I'm very accessible. I've always been. I love to talk with anybody that's, wants to talk with me. I'm also doing another, pro bono clinic for seals, expunge, and restoration of gun rights or clemency, voters' rights, things like that. I've done a couple of those this year, and we do have another one of those that's coming up in July too. Keep my Facebook page, my campaign page. We share a lot of those events. So if anybody knows anyone that needs assistance with that, that is a free service. It's, I'm not charging for that, to help people through that process. So, I'm completely accessible anytime, anybody wants to talk with me. I'm happy to come on by the office or give me a call.
Okay, I want to go back to, because you kind of froze just for a split second. So you were saying something about it's fine. It's one of those things that happen. But you were saying something about right before you said you were accessible to help out. Was it you said something about guns or something of that nature? What were you saying?
It's a pro bono legal clinic that I've done a few of already this year, and it assists people in the Hamilton community with getting criminal charges sealed, expunged off of their record, or with applications for clemency, pardon, to try to get gun rights or civil voting rights, or completely pardon, of a criminal offense. I walk them through the process and give them legal advice as to their specific situation and try to assist with completing the forms. So we have another one of those clinics coming up in July that we're doing at my office as well. So just be looking out on my, my Facebook page for my law firm, or on my campaign page, for information for that anybody may be interested.
That's beautiful. That's amazing. Right here in Jasper. That's good.
Well,
That's amazing.
listen, I'm a firm believer, if you have paid your debts to society, you deserve
Right.
to be sitting back at the table. And if you are willing to go through that process and show the community that, you are worthy of that, being that good citizen again, I'm all about helping you.
My
Everyone
God.
deserves a second chance. Everyone deserves, to be treated, as they should. And if you have done what you have done, and most of the time it's people just having a hard time understanding the process and what to do.
Right.
The paperwork and the red tape and all of that. And I think there would be a lot more people that would be in different positions with jobs and other opportunities and voting if they just knew what to do.
Right.
And so I host those clinics quite frequently, because to me, it's very fulfilling to be able to help. And I mean, I've seen success stories. I had a lady come up to me in the ballpark the other day and tell me that she got a job that she had been trying to get because I helped her with it.
Wow.
It's very real.
Okay, so with the clinic, would it be permanent, or would be something like what you do, you'll be in and out, be something that you do and then you'll stop and you have to, another time you bring it back. So is it a permanent, or how does that clinic go?
So the clinic is basically me providing, free legal assistance as to how to navigate the process, how to complete the forms, how to do it, where to file them, what documents they need, basically educating them on how to get through, the process, what specifically applies to you. We may look up your criminal background. We may pull criminal history. We may, try to get some records from the clerk, but I'm going to navigate you through during that clinic. This is what you
Okay.
need to do to yourself in what you're looking for. If you're looking for seal of records, this is what you need to do. If you're looking to expunge an arrest off your history, this is what you need to do. If you're looking to get gun rights restored, here's the pardon process and what you need to do. A lot of times it's just people really not understanding and having the legal advice to know how they go about it. They'll be totally eligible and just not know what to do.
My goodness. Okay, this has been so good. Can you tell us? We've talked about so many things. We've talked about so much stuff. Can you give us some of your success stories, like some of the things that you said? This has been, like a thing of mine that I was in, I did, and this is what turned out to be a really great thing.
You know, coming into private practice, I was not sure how well I was going to adapt. My husband was a chief of police. I was a prosecutor. I had worked for prosecutors in the past, but I'd also been a defense attorney. So I knew that there was going to be some struggles and some hurdles. But to see the effect that I have made on so many families and what I've done just in the 4 years that I've been in private practice has probably been the most rewarding for me. That I would say throughout my legal career so far, it has been the most rewarding for me to be able to actually see the effects of my work, of what I've done. Not just being a prosecutor and standing behind a podium and doing a job and recognizing that I, have to just punish someone, but actually putting in the legwork to support someone that I want to help, that I believe in, that I believe deserves a better shot or a better opportunity, or maybe didn't get a fair shake. And actually seeing that through, seeing those stories through to know, I helped that person get to where they're at. That's what is rewarding to me. That's what drives me. And it has been probably the best part about the last 10 years of being a lawyer. Now, don't get me wrong. Do I take a lot of pride in cleaning up our streets and getting the bad people off and protecting our children? And people tell me all the time, Sheena, you were a tough prosecutor. And I was. But I also take a lot of great pride in putting smiles on a lot of people's faces from this side, whether it be adoptions, whether it be in family law cases, whether it be in a criminal case that, I got someone, an outcome so that they could get diversion and go to nursing school. There's so many rewards on this side, and actually knowing that it was my effort, my hard work, my determination, and the support of my staff, of course, that made that happen. That's very rewarding.
I tell you what, you have a good staff, by the way. Reagan is awesome. She is all that.
Thank you. I will be sure to tell her.
I am going to have to tell she is phenomenal. So you have people that when we call, they answer, and she'll get back with you. She's on point. She's answered telephones, emails. I mean, she's all that.
I will tell you this. I brag on her. I brag on Darian. I brag on Steph. I don't think that I could have had a better crew than, because even with my campaign, they're my people. Even outside of just doing our job every day, they're my people. They've got my back through thick, thin, in between, campaign, no campaign. Every day they know I care about my people, and so they care about my people. And that's one thing that you'll probably hear about me when you ask around about me. You can rest assured, if you're a client of mine or you're somebody that I am trying to help, you know that I care about my people, and I'm very passionate about it.
Tell us, how can we reach you? We know that you are right there behind Hardee's. You in this is a blue building, right?
Yes,
that blue building.
yeah, we have a metal roof. We were actually an old insurance building. We used to be Alliance Associates, but now we're Rickerson Legal. We do have some insurance agents that work in the building that do life and senior review benefits, things like that. But the majority of the building is ours. But I have lots of social media. So my office line is 386-269-0440. But we do have Instagram and Facebook for my law firm page. And it's, as well as Google. I have Avo, check out my Google, check out my Avo. I am rated top on all of them. I have good reviews across everything. I had Client's Choice that I won in 2021 based on great client reviews. I have 5 stars on Google. There's a lot of information out there online. just because of the generation that we're in. And I've took a lot of pride in ensuring that information is out there with the community, because I believe in transparency. And,
Right.
I don't even do a lot of advertising other than like Facebook and Instagram. A lot of my business is word of mouth and referrals.
Right.
And that's where you want to be. When you first come out into private practice, it may take a little advertising, but if you are truly good at what you do, you eventually just have word of mouth. And I've reached that milestone in my career, and it's something that I'm very proud of.
Mm. So we know that you're going up for the campaign. What is something that you would like to share with us on tonight as you're going forward?
I would just like to share that I hope the voters, when they go to the ballot, they choose candidates that choose Hamilton County. That is a message that I have tried to spread across the board. And when I say choose, I mean truly peeling back the onion and looking at, people's underlying motivations, desires, goals. What's your track record? What have you been doing? How have you been supporting this county long before opportunities came about? Are you really here? Is your heart here? Are you invested here? Because I am absolutely my campaign slogan. I'm local, I'm invested, and I'm fair. And I just hope that if people want to see change, like I'm hearing on the streets that people want to see change in this county, I just hope that they keep that in mind when they go to the ballot, because we need it here. It's time.
Wow. Beautiful. That's phenomenal. So I thank you. This is the end for tonight. I have enjoyed you on tonight. You have really touched some things, and I hope and pray that you all, if you all will share this video on tonight, share it. She has some great things that she's doing in Hamilton County, and in Hamilton County, consists of White Springs, Jennings, and Jasper. And so, if you all needing some assistance, need some things expunged, need her to look into some things, y'all need to definitely reach out to her, because she's more than just going for this campaign for judge. She's actually for the people, looking for things to make this county, this community better. And just like she said before, some people don't even know that they can get things cleared up for them. They can get help where they can go back and start voting and things of that nature. This is phenomenal. Things that we didn't even know was even here. And this is why it's good to come on the show. This is why it's good to share this video, so we know more about her. Y'all got her information where y'all can Google her name. Y'all should be able to find her information where y'all can reach her. Go to her office. Y'all know she's gonna be having her clinic going on. Y'all need to be trying to get out. What was August 20th? You said for your clinic. Y'all need to be trying to get out there and reach her. See what and when she's going out this campaign, y'all need to go out there and see what she's doing. And just listen to her and things of that nature. This is great. This is phenomenal. I don't have anything else to say. This has just been great. Anything you want to say before we close out?
Other than I really appreciate you having me tonight and taking the time. You are doing amazing things, woman. And listen, from one woman to another, rocket girl.
Rocket girl. I'm about to make that a shirt say rocket girl. Yes, ma'am.
Right.
So I thank you so much for your time. This has been beautiful. And
listen, everybody's been commenting too. Thank you guys. And please, if I can help, feel free to reach out to my office. I'm always happy to, or hopefully get you in the right direction if I can.
Yes, ma'am. And I'm going to be reaching out to you on some things I'm going to be starting to do in the community. And your name did come up, so I'm going to be reaching out to you very soon. Okay, with that being said and done, I love you all. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for sharing this on your Facebook pages, social media pages. Thank you for tagging people, texting people. I'm just saying thank you in advance, so y'all can go ahead and get this information out, so we can get more people to know more about this woman of God right here. Okay. All right. Talk to y'all later. I love you all. Take care of yourself. Yes, ma'am. Blessings.
Verbally Creations is proud to introduce the Renewed Mind in Christ Conference, a 3-day event focusing on marketplace ministry, mental health awareness, mindset shifts, and deliverance. Join us Friday, June 21st through Sunday, June 23rd for an immersive experience. Secure your seats now for this transformative gathering.
Hi, I'm Prophetess Dr. Tish here. Make sure you get your tickets for the Renewed Mind in Christ, June 21st, June 23rd at ferventlyevents.com. Ensure that you use promotional code WEUP50. That's right, WEUP50 to get $50 off your ticket price by May 4th. See you soon.
Greetings and welcome to Nubian Queen Talk Show. I am your host, Queen Yolanda Mitchell, and I am thrilled to announce a fantastic opportunity for you to advertise on our program. You can choose either a commercial lasting no longer than a minute or a voiceover in a flyer. Numerous advertisement options are available, and we encourage you to reach out to us via email at nubianqueenmove@gmail.com. That is Nubian, NEWBEING, queenmove@gmail.com. For more information, please take notes of our email address at nubianqueenmove@gmail.com, and we will send you information as soon as possible. We offer you the opportunity to promote your business, upcoming event, ministry, birthday shout out, anniversary appreciation shout out, or any other message you like to get out there. We are excited to work with you to create an effective marketing strategy for you, your brand, and your event.